In Photoshop today we're going to learn how to make this chrome border effect with the highlights and the color and text inlay. Just going to put that over there. Okay, so just hit File New and just create a new template. It can be any size you want, doesn't really matter. Just remember, if you're going to print it out, change this to 300 or above, and you want to hit CMYK. But I'm doing it for a screen purpose, so I can just leave it at 72 dpi. So it spits out a new canvas here. You can see it's got the margins. We don't need the margins for what we're doing. We're not actually making it for a video, so it doesn't matter. So just hit Control H or Command H to get rid of those. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to drag out a circle. And to do that, you'll see that if you just drag it out normally, it goes all over the place, so just hold Shift and that will give you a circle. Next thing we're going to do is duplicate the layer so that we have two circles exactly the same size and exactly the same place. And we're just going to hide that layer for the moment. Come back to this one, double click on it. We want to do a gradient overlay first, and we want to have a slightly off black color and a slightly off-white color for this. The next thing is we want to go to Bevel Emboss, and we want to put the depth all the way up to 1000%. We then want to bring the size in, and keep in mind this Bevel and Emboss part is only half the effect, so you don't want it too fat because it's going to double in size. So about there is probably good, and we want to leave it nice and hard. You don't want to change this to chiseled though. Just leave that on smooth, but we don't want to soften it or anything like that. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for that bit. Actually, no, it's not. Once we go here, we want to change it to the double bit, which gives us our sort of chrome effect. And in here, you can actually change the chrome effect even further, so you might want to actually lighten this up a bit. Looks a bit dull. It's not really doing much. Hit OK. You can add a white color overlay to make it a bit lighter if you want, but yeah. So that's our basic chrome border there. We're going to go back to this circle here and unhide it. We're then going to hit Command T, which enables us to resize it, and then we want to hold Shift and Alt, and this will scale it down to the middle. And then we want to leave about the same space in the middle as we did on the outside, so about there's good. Next we're going to do is add a few modifications to this one. We want to add an inner shadow. So just change the settings so that it looks like it's been inlaid a bit. Just going to change this to 85. Okay, and we want to hit gradient overlay for this one. I'm just going to make this a yellowy color, and make this one an sort of orangey color. And then we're going to hit OK there, and we're going to go down here and hit radial, and just drag that to 0, and we've got our effect. I'm just going to darken this yellow a bit. There we go, so it just blends in a bit more. So that's all we're going to do for that bit. Now to add in the highlights. So these highlights here, you can see they're just ellipse circles. So we're going to grab the ellipse tool, and it's already on white, which is good. And we want to drag this one out, and we want it to be, this is the smallest one of them all, so we want it to be up the top. And then we're going to drag another one out that's just slightly bigger, and you want to get them so that they're not actually over the chrome part, because otherwise it looks a bit funny when you change them. So go to the first one, change the opacity to about somewhere around 20. Same with the second one. Ooh, and as you can see, the second one was not quite bigger, so just make that a bit bigger. Okay, and the third one is in this direction. So we'll grab that, hit Command T there again to resize the object. And you want to leave a bit of space on the sides, so probably about that much, and then we're going to chuck this one down to somewhere around 20 as well. And might just make that a smidge wider actually. And there you can see we have our highlight effect. So the next thing that I'm going to do is change this what was it, the gradient color. I'm going to change this yellow so it's actually a bit wider, because it makes the highlights work a bit better. Okay, and they don't look quite as they don't look ellipse-like as much. And then the next thing we can do is add in our text layer. So we want to make sure this is below all the highlights we've just created. And I'm just gonna type some initials in there and drag it up. Okay, move it around, hit Command T, you can rotate it a bit if you want. Resize it. You want it so it's like just outside the area, because we're actually going to cut it off so it looks like it's inlaid as well. Next thing we're going to do to this is hit the inner shadow and adjust the settings a bit so it looks like it's inlaid. There we go. And then we're going to go down to our color inlay bit, and we're going to control click on the little picture, and that's going to select this area. And then we want to hit Control Shift I, which selects the opposite of that area. We're then going to go back to the text layer, right click on it, hit Rasterize Type. That changes it into pixels, which enables us to delete it. So you can just hit the delete button for that. And that will make it look like it is now inlaid into the color layer. So that is it for this tutorial. You can fiddle around with maybe, I don't know, blurring these ellipses a bit or something so they don't quite look as hard. I don't know. Nope, I'm doing the wrong layer. Don't do that layer, because that layer would end badly. Probably helps if you merge these layers and blur them. There we go. Just takes the hardness off their edge. And it looks quite nice. So that's it.